What's up everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. Last time, we began a new series where we were looking at what would happen if Trunks and Bulla were born at the same time. And clearly, it seems like you guys liked it a lot, so of course we're going to be continuing it today. Of course, Bulla being there changes a lot of things in the Cell saga. But sadly this doesn't mean that Cell's going to be stopped, not in the slightest. He's now attained his perfect form, as Trunks, Bulla, Piccolo, and an injured Vegeta watch on in horror. Will they come out victorious? For this part, let's set a like goal of 3,000 likes, and then once we hit that, I'll continue this series with another part. Anyways, let's pick up from here. After all this time, Cell is finally perfect, and the four of them try to fight. Piccolo is strong, but his attacks don't do much. And while Vegeta's strong, he's pretty weakened from when Cell hit him before. He's clearly not in top form right now, but as for Trunks and Bulla, they may be able to hold him off. Trunks tells Piccolo to take Vegeta to the lookout to get a Senzu. He and Bulla will fix this and defeat Cell together. While Vegeta would like to stick around, it becomes clear that he can't. He struggles trying to catch his breath and he's clearly injured, so Piccolo puts him over his shoulder and flies him over to the lookout. Cell is pretty amused. Do these two children really think they could take him on? Trunks first powers up into Super Saiyan Grade 4, and Cell's actually surprised. Was Trunks hiding his true power this whole time? Well, he's actually not stronger than Cell, but his power actually puts him somewhat close to Cell's level. Trunks goes in first, and his attacks can't really do too much, but they are leaving marks. Although, it won't really help in the long run. Thankfully, Trunks isn't there alone. Equal to Trunks in terms of power, Bulla then joins in, also in Super Saiyan Grade 4. And now, it seems that the twins actually have an advantage. Together, the two of them surprisingly seem to overpower Cell. They're glad to figure this out, and Cell is pretty angered. But he doesn't show it though. He remains confident. Drawing his tail out, he even tries to attack them with that like he did with Vegeta. But they're smarter than that. They're able to not only dodge it, but grab it and use it against Cell. Cell attempts to stab Bulla, but she grabs his tail, swinging him around right into Trunks' fist, knocking him clean into the sky as Bulla then launches a Masenko towards him, with Trunks then jumping up into the air, slamming him back down into the ground. From his mouth, Cell wipes some blood. They're actually putting up a decent fight. Cell grins. He may actually get a little bit excited from this. Very well then, he spawns a few Cell Juniors, and decides to have them go play with Trunks and Bulla. They're mainly a distraction. Trunks and Bulla are able to defeat the Cell Juniors relatively easy, but by doing this, they're distracted from Cell's attacks. It was a smart strategy, because now they're outnumbered, although not overpowered. Individually, Cell's able to get some good hits on each of them, but when they attack together, he can't do much. Back at the lookout, Vegeta gets his Senzu beam, standing up, empowered and ready to fight again. He and Piccolo are about to head back, and this time they won't go alone. Krillin, Tenshinhan, and Yamcha all join in. If only Goku and Gohan were ready. But whatever, it seems like Trunks and Bulla are holding Cell off. Maybe this is enough. So, that group from the lookout heads out. In midair, they sense something interesting as they're flying over. Trunks and Bulla are gaining a great advantage over Cell. And it seems now they have their opening. As we know with Trunks, he's one who likes to finish things quickly, and Bulla would probably be similar to him. They're not going to toy around with Cell or anything. If they have the opening to kill him, they will go for it. Together, the two deliver flying kicks to him. Cell stumbles back, trying to regain his footing. He staggers as he then looks up. Seeing the two with their hands high above their head, they yell at Cell, telling him that he's finished, as they both launch a combined sibling Masenko, or I guess a brother-sister Masenko. Whatever floats your guy's boat. Cell braces for impact, but he's too late. The two Masenkos combine, swallowing Cell whole. He screams in pain as seemingly every bit of him is erased. Left behind is a divot, smoldering from the attack. Trunks and Bulla can't sense him at all, and they can't see him either. It seems like they're able to do their job, which is great. He was a big challenge, but thankfully, it seems like this is the end of it. So, the two power down back into base, high-fiving as they then fly off. They sense Vegeta and his group approaching. It's definitely a good idea to meet up with them and tell them what happened. But midair as they're flying away, Bulla then hears something and looks back. Behind her down below, back in that same smoldering crater, a giant blue beam comes out. Quickly she turns into Super Saiyan, bracing herself, as she's then hit by a blast. The explosion nearly hits Trunks midair as Bulla then falls down to the ground. Trunks looks back and immediately, he's hit by an attack as well. Back on the ground, the two are injured but they stand up. That attack was really powerful. Thankfully they're able to brace themselves in time. Who else could have attacked but Cell? They thought they killed him, but who else would have done that? And as they stand up, their worst fears are realized that they see Cell standing there. His aura more intense than before, with sparks even flying around him. What the hell? How did this happen? Whatever, they defeated him once and they could do it again. This time they just need a little bit more juice, making sure every bit of him is erased. Bulla powers up and then rushes towards him, but Cell casually lifts up his hand, sending a blast in her direction, knocking her far away. Trunks jumps up and catches her midair, and as she recollects herself, Trunks then rushes in. Cell grins as Trunks closes in, and then he stretches his arm out forcefully, piercing Trunks right through his chest. Bulma stands up, surprised to see what's happened, but before she can even react, Cell launches another blast, easily knocking her out. With Cell's arms stretched through his chest, Cell lifts Trunks up into the air. Trunks is barely retaining consciousness as he coughs up blood. And of course, this isn't going to go unnoticed. Piccolo and Vegeta are still heading there, and Vegeta is one of the first to sense it. The rest of the group senses it too. Cell is back somehow, and it seems like Bulma and Trunks' keys are dwindling. Vegeta speeds up, rocketing towards the area as everyone follows close behind, trying to keep up with his speed. Vegeta is able to arrive at the area pretty quickly, and is left speechless after he's greeted by this sight. Catching up to him slowly, the rest of the group lands behind him, and they're greeted with the same sight Vegeta's seeing. Cell's happy to see them all there. Ah, an audience. He takes his arm out of Trunks' chest and then holds him up by his hair. He looks directly at Vegeta as he casually lifts up his hand, sending a larger blast right at Trunks point blank, launching Trunks into a group of rocks nearby, now lifeless. Not too far away, Bulma lies there injured and unconscious. She's Cell's next target. He lifts up a single finger and points it at her, as a small ball of light appears in front of it. But before he can launch this blast, something distracts him. The entire area begins shaking, as he then hears a scream from someone nearby. It's Vegeta. The rest of his allies watch in awe. His aura grows immensely. A small crater forms beneath his feet, with lightning arcing around him, turning the sand into glass. The shockwave from this alone causes everyone to cover their eyes. Cell looks over with his mouth agape, as he then sees Vegeta seems to have powered up somehow. He's still in Super Saiyan, but something about him is different. His hair is sharper, lightning is around him. His aura is more intense, and of course, his power seems huge. Not only is he empowered from being healed, but he's angry. Really angry. He won't let Cell get away with it this time. Before Cell even realizes what's going on, Vegeta then launches towards him. Vegeta's fist collides square with his face, creating a massive shockwave as Cell is then sent flying away. Out of anger and sadness, Vegeta has ascended into Super Saiyan 2, looking to avenge his kids. From the rubble he was sent into, Cell then stands up, flying back towards Vegeta. The two clash mid-air, creating a massive shockwave. Everyone else watches on, shocked at what they're seeing. Both Cell and Vegeta somehow got really strong all of a sudden. It's incredible. As they fight, Vegeta's anger and power progress, as Vegeta gets the hang of whatever this new form is. Cell's able to get some hits in, but blinded by his pure rage, Vegeta is able to tank them pretty easily. Cell then realizes, how did he not know? Cell's part Saiyan himself. And just like how Cell got stronger after regenerating, Vegeta's stronger from being healed, as well as summoning his anger. But Cell can't even think mid-fight. Vegeta's attacking him so quickly and so sharply. Vegeta then winds up a massive punch. Cell braces himself, but as Vegeta's fist collides with his arm, it breaks clean off. Cell looks down at his broken arm in shock, as Vegeta then delivers an uppercut right towards him. While this is all happening, the group rushed over to Bulma. Thankfully, they brought some extra Senzu beans. They thought Trunks and Bulma might need them. They give her the Senzu bean as she then wakes up. She looks over at Vegeta and Cell and sees what's happening, and then realizes the worst possible outcome happened. Trunks seems to have died. The horror slowly sets in as the group continues watching the fight between Vegeta and Cell. Despite Vegeta's increase in power, it still seems like it's not enough to defeat Cell. Sure, he overpowers the bio-android, but Cell's regeneration counters this. It's almost enough, but it's not quite there yet. But thankfully, Vegeta's not going to go through this fight alone. Surprisingly, during the fight, he's then joined by Bulma, catching Cell off guard as she then kicks him. Vegeta's glad to see that she's okay, empowered just like him, and with their combined might, this should be more than enough. Greatly overpowering the bio-android, the two clash with Cell together. Naturally, they have perfect synergy in their fighting. They did train together a year after all, and now they're set on killing Cell as fast as possible. Vegeta's made him suffer enough for what he's done, and knows not to screw up like before. Now that he has the opportunity to kill Cell, he will. Vegeta kicks Cell right in the stomach, sending him up in the air. Vegeta and Bulma then jump up, standing back to back as they draw their hands backwards. Together, the two begin charging Purple Energy Blast, and simultaneously, they shout Gallic Gun as they launch them towards Cell. The two purple beams swirl together, electrifying as they travel. As he breathes heavily, Cell clutches his chest midair, looking up in horror as he sees the beam coming towards him. Before he can even react, the beam hits him dead on, as the father-daughter duo unleash all their power. This is for Trunks. As it flies off into space, the beam grows larger and larger. Every single tiny bit of Cell is erased. No nucleus left over at this time. The purple beam slowly dissipates, as Vegeta and Bulma then descend down towards the ground once more. What are they supposed to do now? Ever since Piccolo fused with Kami, they haven't had any Dragon Balls. This seems like it may be an issue, but Piccolo then remembers. Goku has the instant transmission ability. Maybe, if they wait for him to come out of the Room of Spirit in time, he could find new Namek somehow. That way, they'll at least have a hope of reviving Trunks. So while Vegeta and Bulma are both saddened and concerned, this at least sets them at ease. There seems to be some hope that they could bring Trunks back. Not too long later, Goku and Gohan then exit the Room of Spirit in time, unlocking the same power as Super Saiyan Grade 4 that Vegeta, Trunks, and Bulma all had. And it turns out, their help may not be needed. Sure, their training was very worthwhile and it did grow them exponentially. But from what they hear, Cell's already been defeated. But alongside this good news, they hear bad news that Trunks has died. Gohan's pretty shocked to hear this, as is Goku. But Piccolo then proposes that Goku goes to find Namek once more. Oh yeah, Goku didn't even realize that. Not a problem. He first teleports to King Kai, who then points him in the direction of New Namek. They wait for Trunks to be revived, but suddenly, Goku then returns back with a small Namekian with him. It's Dende! Well yeah, instead of just asking for the wish, why not get a new set of Dragon Balls here on Earth? Oh, even better. This is great, it fixes that issue, and with that, they're able to revive Trunks. Plus, this set of Dragon Balls is upgraded, pretty much like normal. With the help of Shenron, Trunks is then revived. And he's filled in on what's happened so far. It seems they're all in the clear. Cell is defeated, as are the android, who end up remaining dead here. Needless to say, Trunks is pretty relieved, as are Bulma and Vegeta. It's actually a bit surprising, they've never really seen that side of Vegeta. Well, obviously Trunks didn't get to see it, but Bulma and everyone else did. Not only that, Vegeta's strength was impressive as well. It seems once again, he's the top dog, and he set a new goal for Goku and Gohan, as well as Trunks and Bulma. This inflates his ego a good bit. He's more than content. He got the win, got a power up, and his kids are safe. Also, as a bonus, he's ahead of Kakarot once more. Despite its lows, Vegeta's been having a pretty great week. But with all those loose ends tied, Trunks and Bulma can now return to their timeline. They thank everyone with a tearful goodbye, as they head back to save their future. And of course, fighting the androids isn't too tough. Even one of them's kinda overkill. But they each take on one of the androids individually, and with one attack each, they're able to wipe them from existence. They're both content. Their future can finally remain at peace. Well, at least for the time being. Cell shows up too, but he's not too much of a threat. But for now, future Trunks, future Bulma, and future Bulma can finally rest, as society slowly rebuilds itself. But that's not the end of the story yet, not in the slightest. As I mentioned last episode, Trunks and Bulma weren't just born in the future, no, they were born in the present timeline as well. Of course, at the end of the Cell Saga, they're still infants, but naturally, Vegeta knows that they show promise. If they can even become half the warriors that their future selves were, Vegeta will be proud. But if anything, Vegeta actually expects more from them. He keeps this in mind. As the two grow up, he'll be sure to train them well. And what do you know, not long after, Goku has a second kid as well, named Goten. And that's another big thing too, Goku's alive here. For the time being, he, Vegeta, and Gohan keep up their training, as Goten, Trunks, and Bulma all grow up together. We're now in the 7-year time skip before the Buu Saga. As the three of them grow up, they're slowly integrated into training. Gohan started at age 4, so why not them too? They start relatively early, with Goten and Trunks being trained much better than they were before, with Bulma also being involved here. Despite their age, their power is pretty impressive. Gohan's even impressed too. Not only is he continuing his training, but he wants to maintain his lead. These kids are catching up to them pretty fast. So, Gohan wants to make the best of his power. It's a little bit of a friendly competition. Goku and Gohan are eventually able to unlock Super Saiyan 2. But more surprisingly, the 3 other kids unlock Super Saiyan at a relatively young age. Wow, they're definitely prodigies of some sort. This only excites everyone for the future. There's definitely some great things that'll come out of this next generation of fighters. Both Goku and Vegeta are pretty proud. Everyone's training is paying off, and Vegeta's clearly had somewhat of a change of heart. He's no longer the same cold person that he was in the Android Saga, not even in the slightest. Both due to his experience in the Cell Saga, and due to Goku still being alive. Not to mention his family around him, he's softened up quite a bit. He's not gonna have that same animosity that he did in the Buu Saga. He's much farther developed as a person right now. He's no longer an anti-hero, he's a hero. He and Kakarot grow closer as rivals. Instead of a bitter rivalry, it's now a friendly rivalry. The two strive to improve each other and their kids. Plus, it seems like the hybrids are catching up pretty quickly. Gohan's already surpassed them, and they're not gonna let that stand. They'll show these kids who the real bosses are, as they amp up their training heading into the Buu Saga. But we'll be saving that saga for the next episode. This is where we'll leave off for now. So what did you guys think about this part? What do you think will happen in future Trunks and future Bulma? And as for the present timeline, what do you think is going to happen next? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you like this video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal from before so we can get another part to the series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future parts of this What If, or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.